Welcome to the 5G World Studio, where I'm joined by telecoms.com editor Scott Bicheno. Scott, thanks for joining us.
It's a pleasure. Nice to have you.
We're here in London for the first ever 5G World. Exciting times, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is. We're still a little bit away from when we expect 5G to become sort of reality for everyone, but there's so much that 5G needs to incorporate that we can't currently do, such as bandwidth, such as IoT and that sort of thing, that we're going to have a good 4 years of obsessing about it between now and then.
Nevertheless, there's early days, like you say. There's still a lot to see and hear from people here. Nokia is here showing off its 5G ready network already, and Ericsson's doing some cool stuff as well. So it's early days, but people are very, very keen to be seen as front runners in this fledgling kind of generation.
So, very much so. I mean, we had this with 4G and 3G. The marketing people obviously want to appropriate the term as early as possible, and everyone wants to be seen as being a core part of the standard. Yeah. So we get this very convoluted standardization process, and eventually you'll have a standard, and certain companies' technology will be part of that standard, and they've got a degree of sort of guaranteed business revenue activity from that. So the stakes are very high.
And talk me through very quickly standards, 3GPP, the people who help to ratify those standards. Whereabouts are we on that cycle at the moment?
Well, actually, funnily enough, I just wrote about this late yesterday. They've put in a roadmap for the sort of first formal standardization process, which they're looking to sort of freeze the initial standard in the middle of 2018.
Right.
So we've got about 2 years of mulling over the various technologies that are going to be involved and the various sort of specific patents and all that sort of thing that make them up. So that's the first stage, and then it's about building on that frozen standard in 2018 to produce the sort of final version about a year or two later.
Finally, for now, Scott, we'll be hearing a lot from you during the course of the day, interviewing various key stakeholders here at 5G World. What's the most exciting thing, if I can draw you on that? What's the thing you're most looking forward to at the event for the next couple of days?
A lot of what we've been talking about. I'm looking forward to hearing a bit more about the actual technology involved. Basically, people are expecting in excess of 1 gigabits per second wireless bandwidth, which is far in excess of what we currently have in our broadband, even in our fixed broadband. So how they're going to go about getting in excess of 1 gigabits per second, I want to hear about that.
Of course, it's about low latency as well as high speed, isn't it? And that's another challenge as we get, connected cars are a big thing here today as well. Definitely. And they definitely need, high speed, low latency.
Yeah, and for things like remote control, another thing I wrote yesterday that Ericsson's talking about at the show is remote surgery.
Yes.
And you need low latency for that, not just so that the surgery itself is done properly, but for a thing called haptic feedback, where the surgeon can actually virtually feel what's going on. And obviously if there's any delay, that completely throws it off.
Well, I look forward to picking your brains during the course of the day, but we'll be hearing from you picking lots of other people's brains during the course of the day as well. Scott Bicheno from telecoms.com, thank you very much for joining us. We'll be back in a bit.